So your girl wrote not one, not two, but 4 books. So I'm going to basically run you through all of the books that I have launched, and you guys will let me know if you're feeling the titles, if you're feeling it, and all that other extra stuff. I'll leave all the links down below so that way you can get a copy in your hands. But basically, back in 2015, I decided that I was going to start back writing, and I've been writing ever since. And then in 2017, something was just like, if I don't write this book and I don't put it out and do any of the things, then I was just never going to do it. So I took the leap and I wrote my first poetry book, which is a collection of poems, proses, and a bit of affirmations, basically documenting the life of a person with high functioning depression, which, as a majority of you guys know, I do it all. If it's something that needs to be done, 9 times out of 10, I either learn how to do it, I've done it, I plan on doing it, and all the things. So Smile Envy, this one is close to my heart. These poems were actual poems that were never supposed to be out there, and a majority of the writing in this one are not traditional, in the sense I wanted it to feel more raw. I wanted it to feel more of like a first person, and I love the way that Smile Envy came out. I actually had an event where I had sponsors galore. I had L'Oreal, CoverGirl, BeautyCon, just to name a few places that actually sponsored my first book. And I did have a different cover, but I drew this and then I had somebody basically turn the regular sketch and, you know, like my mock-up into an actual digital copy, so that way I could just make the cover. So this is my first book, which is Smile Envy, and 30% of proceeds go to charity. So 10% goes to Hope for Haiti, 10% goes to Women in Need NYC, and 10% goes to the Rape Foundation. Trigger warning, should have gave that in the beginning, but basically this particular book kind of sort of goes through all of the things that I have went through. Well, not every single thing that I have gone through, but it basically touches on a lot of things that I had went through, from my childhood to my teen years and even into adulthood. So this is big. The second book I came out with is Untitled. This collection of poems, proses, affirmations, this kind of sort of is our bestseller, because it's not as heavy as Smile Envy, and it's not as provocative as Cycle and Poems He Wrote is. So with this particular poetry, affirmation, and prose book, I basically wanted people to understand what my self-love journey was, because mine wasn't like your typical self-love journey. There was no straight line. It was like 1 second I'm working on myself, next second I'm checking a shorty out, next second I'm working on myself, next second I am contemplating, you know, do I actually want to do this? Am I happy with myself? What makes, you know, this a life worth living? So I wanted it to be as raw as possible. I wanted people to see what it was like inside my brain, where I am this big, bubbly, happy person, but I have all of these dark thoughts. And the thing is like, I didn't want it to feel like a regular self-help book, you know, like the ones where there's like toxic positivity. We're like, oh my god, if you only think positive all the time, everything will be great. And it's like, is that accurate? Because you can be happy all day, every day, but you're human. There's going to be times where you're frustrated. There's going to be times where you're not happy. There's going to be times where, you know, like life is lifing, and it's okay. And I wanted people to understand, like, yeah, it's not always going to be smiles and happiness and positive thinking, and you know, you're not going to always be on a self-love journey and just be on the straight and narrow. Some people, there's highs and lows. Some people ebb and flows, and I was one of those people. So I wanted something that basically really targeted and made sure that that was a thing. Poems he wrote. Poems he wrote is a collection of poems that I wrote like years ago. They're a collection of poems from somebody that I was in love with, and basically the ways in which he loved me showed me ways in which I loved myself. It was different things that was done that had me questioning not necessarily who I was as a person, but questioning, you know, if I actually loved myself as much as I claimed that I did. And if it wasn't for the way that he loved me, I don't think so. There were things, a lot of things about myself that I didn't know, that I was aware of, but I didn't want to change, or I didn't care to change. Like, I was never like the most affectionate person, and this person brought that out of me. There was like a level of connection that me and this person had that was like astounding. It was out of this world. And you know, everybody was basically rooting for us or wanted us to be together or be in a relationship and all this other extra stuff. And you know, maybe one day I'll go more in depth about my love life. I know that that's something that I kind of sort of kept off of the internet for so many years. But you know, when I wrote Poems he wrote, I put all of these together, and it was actually during a really tough time for the both of us, and I was reminding myself of all the ways that I loved him, and he always will remind me of all the ways that he loved me. So Poems he wrote was my ode to him, my sound bites of his love, because the ways in which he loved me were like no other. And as a person, if you've read Smile Envy or you went to my first book launch, then you definitely know all the ways in which I was unloved. And to have a love like that, truly grateful. And then we have Cycle. Wait, is it focus? Okay. Then we have Cycle. Cycle is a collection of poems, proses, and you don't know where one relationship starts and one relationship ends. Now, though I wasn't in like a monogamous relationship, or I wasn't in how would I say, like a traditional relationship, a lot of these were situationships, whether it be me with women, me with men. They were situationships of a very long time, because I just would not settle down. Anybody that knows me knows I do not settle down. I do not settle for less than what I feel like I deserve. I don't think that my standards are high. My standards are actually pretty like decent, but there's a level of care that I wasn't being given. And the thing is, it's like, I'm not the type to like want to argue, yell, fight, you know, all the things. And I found that a lot of people needed a lot of healing, and being a single mom and making sure that my daughter is, you know, emotionally intelligent, and going after all of my degrees and working and pursuing the things that I was pursuing outside of YouTube and writing a book and poetry readings and all the things, I didn't have time to the time to dedicate to people. And I was honest about it from like the jump, because I don't like lying to people. But Cycle a little nasty. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm be honest. Cycle has things in it that are very explicit. I think all of my books have things that are explicit in it, because I am a very sexual being. And as the years have gone by, I've never hid who I was. If you ask me, I have no problem answering. But there were times where like I didn't feel like I can actually be myself, talk to you guys and all this stuff, because I was recording in the middle of the night, or my neighbors were making crazy noise, so I would like talk to you guys in between of my neighbors making the noise that they were making and all that stuff. So I didn't feel like I can actually talk to you guys the way that I would like to talk to you guys, if that makes any sense. I felt like there was a disconnect between us, and I decided that this year, now that Kalia's out of school and that we're going to be doing homeschooling, that I was like, okay, I need to come back to YouTube. I need to show my face. I need to connect with you guys. And yeah, so that's another reason why I'm like, all right, let me tell you guys, because unless you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, especially Twitter, because Twitter is where I was getting all of the sales. So if you're over here from Twitter, thank you so very much. I truly do appreciate it. And if I keep looking up, it's because the viewfinder is above. So I'm trying to be, you know, aware of where I'm supposed to be looking. But yeah, no, I was, you know, like, especially with this pandemic and all of the stuff that was going on with COVID, I suffered. Like, there's no nice way. Like, you guys see the boxes behind me. My current goal is actually to sell 2,000 copies of my poetry books. So if you're interested in a copy, then definitely click the link down below or follow me on Instagram, and you can definitely shop my shop on Instagram. But that's basically everything that has to do with these 4 books. So we have Smile Envy, we have Untitled, we have Poems He Wrote, and then we also have Cycle. These books basically let you into me, something that as a strong Black woman we have a tendency not to like allow people to do, is get to know us. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go on that note, and I will see you guys in the next video, where I basically break down how I wrote the poetry books, how I put them together, how did I find a printing company, how I ship my stuff out, and everything else like that. I just wanted to make sure that I reintroduced myself to you guys, because like I said, I did feel like I kind of sort of disappeared, especially at the beginning of the pandemic. A lot of people online, they understand, but they don't understand. Like, I'm a single mom. I gotta think about my money. I don't have time to think about, like, okay, let me record this video now, and then months from now I'll actually see revenue from this particular video. I needed the money when I needed the money. Just being honest. But yes, I'm grateful if you've gotten to this part. I'm really grateful if you've gotten to this part. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for loving on me the way that you guys have. Especially my people, my Sybil, my everyone that, you know, came from freaking YouTube, found me on Instagram, was like, where have you been? I even found people on TikTok who were like, oh my god, I used to watch you all the time, like, where's your videos? So I'm back, I'm here. I'm going to try to batch record as many videos as I can for you guys, so that way we have more chit chat and talking videos. The next couple of videos are just going to be of me talking. I don't think they're going to be of me putting on makeup, because makeup is fun, but I do not have the space like I used to. I downsized greatly, so we'll talk about that in another video. I will see you guys later. Bye.